Hello and welcome to Tales from a Nerd. I am your host, a random nerd slash Kevin. This is a weekly podcast where I talk about the comics that are coming out Wednesday, the news that happened throughout the week, and some life stories I randomly talk about. So I want to talk about the comics in a bit. I will talk about a few things that has happened. I went to GoFest earlier this week. GoFest is the Pokemon Go Fest Pokemon Go Fest that was in Chicago, so it was fun and everything. I had fun, a couple hours of good fun catching Pokemon. I caught 3 shinies. I'm a bit salty because other people got like 20. I only got 3, but nonetheless, we got kicked out of the park. Yeah, I got kicked out of the park. So basically, Chicago had a whole thing that said it was dangerous weather, and then you couldn't stay there. They told everyone to go to shelters, go basically be somewhere safe away from the severe storm. Then 2 hours later, they let everyone back. And let me say this: I have never gotten my shoes that muddy or my pants that muddy before, but it was a fun experience. I will try to go next year. I don't know how they do ticketing. I don't know how well they sell the tickets next year, but I'm willing to go next year. And with that, it was a fun experience. You get a special legendary for that, and exclusive Pokemon that you don't see every time in Chicago or in the United States. I got a couple unknowns. I got Pachirisu. I got a ton of Pachirisu. That was fun. And I found a free hat on the floor, so dibs. So that was fun. Okay, so I'll stop talking about my life. Oh, another thing. My tripod broke, so I am using a makeshift tripod. So if it's a little different, that's because it's different because my tripod broke. That's all I'm gonna say. My tripod broke. I just found out today, like 5 minutes before recording, so there's nothing I can do. I ordered another tripod, so she'll be here by Tuesday. Hopefully by next week's recording, the tripod should be here back. So let's talk about the comics that are being released on Wednesday. Now we're going to talk about Aquaman number 49, written by Kelly Sue DeConnick, art by Victor Bogdanovic and Jonathan Glapion. The truth will come out about Aquaman's lost memories. Can Arthur escape Mother Shark? Who will marry Mary? Now, when Kelly Sue DeConnick took over the book in issue 43, 44, I think that's when she took over. I did like the ideas that they brought, but I'm excited because we did get Mother Shark, and this is an issue that's accumulating to issue 50, which we're probably going to get Aquaman / Arthur back to who he was. And maybe with Kelly Sue DeConnick, she'll bring her own twist on the Aquaman mythos. Now, is it a good jumping on point? No. I would say issue 50 or 51 after that story arc ends. But it's a pretty interesting how Kelly Sue DeConnick is writing Aquaman, and pretty fun. It's a little it does go into a lot of mythical ideas and ideologies, but it's an okay book. Now we're going to go to Batman number 73, written by Tom King, art by Michael Janin. Batman is out of Gotham, and Flashpoint Batman will take his son to the ends of the earth to try one more chance to be Batman anymore. So this Batman run has been just, Batman should not be Batman. He should be with his kid. He should marry Catwoman. This Batman's been through a lot. Bane has controlled and changed his life so much, from ruining his wedding, from shooting Nightwing in the face or in the head, and then going through his nightmares, meeting his Flashpoint Batman, his Flashpoint version of Batman, aka his father, where his father told him not to be Batman anymore, to live a normal and happy life, which is like, okay. And then a few issues later, it's just basically Bane has taken over Batman. Batman's out of Gotham. He's been defeated mentally, physically, and now his dad is taking him out and giving him a chance to be, son, live your life. You don't have to be a crime fighter anymore. I did love the 30 issues of Tom King's writing. I still like the Batman book, but it's a little iffy on some things where it contradicts itself to what other things have said in the book, and ideas come and go. But it's not a good jumping on point. You can still get, I think this is part 4, part 3 of the book, but you can still get the other parts gone. But it's accumulating to War, Gotham War, or City of Bane arc, which is just Bane taking over Gotham, and Batman is trying to fight against Bane. I'm really excited for that issue 75 where that story will take off, or issue 76. But I know one of those issues, Bane has taken over Gotham. And technically he has in this book, we won't see that. But hopefully with the other issue, we will see that. So now we're going to go to Captain America number 11, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates and art by Adam Kubert. Manhunt. But who is doing the manhunt? Hunting? The law? The law enforcement apparatus of the world, or Captain America himself? Now, this story is basically a sequel to Secret Empire, where we found out that evil Steve Rogers was the real Steve Rogers from all the time, and then this Captain America is just a figmentation of the idea of Captain America, where he's true, he's always been fighting with America, and the idealist. But this is basically the aftermath of Secret Empire, where he is taken to jail. And it's basically Captain America questioning himself, like, should I be Cap or not be Cap anymore? And it's fun because it's Cap like, I know I shouldn't help, but let me help. I shouldn't be doing this, but it's survival mode. I shouldn't do this, but I'm too much into my morals. I have to do this. And this is ending the story arc for this at the moment. So after this, you pick up the new storyline. That's when you jump on. But so far, this Captain America run is probably one of my favorites runs so far. Considering Nick Spencer wrote Captain America Steve Rogers, that was also fun. I'm really excited for this book. It's really a fun book, and the art is really good as well. So if you've been reading Captain America, it's a grab, but is it a good jumping on point? No. So we're going to go to the next book. Captain Marvel issue number 7, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Anapola Martello. Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel have been body swapped by the Enchanter's powerful spell. Can this failed covert ops mission still succeed? Now, this is a War of the Realms tie-in. You don't have to pick up if you are reading War of the Realms. I am reading War of the Realms. It has like 22 times. I'm stupid for buying the tie-ins. It's just, I'm like, I'm not going to pick up tie-ins, but then I pick up tie-ins at the end. Basically, after this issue, you will have a new jumping on point after this, because it will finish anything with War of the Realms. War of the Realms is pretty much after this month wrapping up, and then we're going to go to the Carnage event in June through July, written by Donny Cates. But besides that, it's a cool idea to like Freaky Friday. It's just Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel switching bodies, and Captain Marvel is in Doctor Strange's body, and let's see, Doctor Strange is in Captain Marvel's body. So it's weird, and you can see on the cover right here. Yeah, I edited last week. I put pictures, so that was fun. But is it a good pickup? No. But it's War of the Realms, and this is it's War of the Realms is iffy on tie-ins. Let me say that, and not everything adds up properly. But on to the next book. Daredevil issue number 7, written by Chip Zdarsky and art by Lalit Kumar Sharma. The ground of Hell's Kitchen has shifted, and Matt Murdock has emerged a changed man, but for better or for worse. Now, Chip Zdarsky's fantastic run on Daredevil so far is good, and it's really bringing ideas of Matt's Izzy. Basically, after the events of Man Without Fear, he's been taking pills, he's been drinking more, he's been flirting more with women, basically. Well, he only flirted in the first book, but basically you get the idea. This Matt is basically, I'm taking pain pills, I'm drinking. I almost killed a guy, maybe, in the first issue. And it's just him like backing off of being a hero at the moment. It's just basically him being Matt Murdock. He doesn't want to be Daredevil at the moment, because so far, it's been really good, and it's a really good jumping on point right now, because Part 1 just happened. This is part 2. So if you want to jump on, this is your chance to get issue 6 and 7. Very good. Now we're going to talk about Daredevil number 14, written by Scotty Young and art by Nick Klein. The war against trolls grows larger. The likelihood of Deadpool not causing an international incident grows smaller. Now, this is another War of the Realms tie-in. Now, Scotty Young knows how to write Daredevil. He had a few misses, but so far I think he has it down to how Deadpool is for his version of Deadpool. Now, this Deadpool is just meme, funny. He's not like the sad clown we got from the last run. I'm enjoying this Deadpool because he's a little bit more free. He doesn't have a daughter, so he doesn't have to worry about his daughter because he had his whole memory wiped. So he's just trying to earn money for himself, basically. Trying to be the merc with the mouth again. So with War of the Realms, after this, you get a new storyline. So after War of the Realms tie-in, this should be the final time for War of the Realms for Deadpool. After that, you're done. You get a new story arc. That's when you jump on as well. Now you're jumping on point. So that's all I gotta say for that. Okay, this one. Guardians of the Galaxy number 6, written by Donny Cates and art by Jeff Shaw. The Guardians of the Galaxy versus Dark Guardians versus Hela and the Black Order. It's all out chaos, and it's about to get a whole lot worse with the resurrection of Thanos. Now, if you've been reading this Guardians run, it's really good. Basically, after the events of Infinity Wars, the Infinity Wars prelude, basically, in the first issue, Requiem, aka Gamora, if you haven't read that book, it's been out for over a year, killed Thanos. She literally grabbed her sword, basically cut Thanos' head, and he's dead. Because all the heroes said, we gotta get the Infinity Stones and hide away from Thanos, and then she pops up and throws Thanos' head, and they're like, oh, Thanos is dead. Great. Who is she? But so far, this Guardians book is taken over like after Thanos' death. Basically, his last will was basically, I said basically twice, but he said in his last will and testament that he put his consciousness, all his info into someone from the Marvel Universe. We got revealed who it was. I don't want to say who, but this is the return of Thanos, because as you know in comics, nothing really stays dead. But the return of Thanos, oh my god, am I excited for Donny Cates writing for Thanos again? Yes, because he wrote the fantastic Thanos run for about 5-6 issues. That's where we got introduced into the Silver Surfer Black, the old Thanos, the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So this Guardians run, it's pretty much a good jumping on point from now on. So a good jumping on point now. Now we're going to talk about Justice League number 26, written by James Tynion IV and art by Javi Fernandez. After being off planet for so long, the Justice League must try to pick up pieces of their lives, but Lex Luthor has other plans. If he has his way, he'll show all of humanity that the Justice League will never be there in the world's time of need. Now, this is taking off the six-dimension storyline, so this is a good jumping on point right now. But I would recommend you read the other Justice League trades to pick up the story, because taking over that, and we got revealed what happened to Lex. It also takes, basically, if you read the current Justice League run and the DC Year 1 special, you get hints of what's going to happen later on in the future. And this, what Lex did, oh my god. But Justice League is pretty much a really good book to read. Basically, if you love the Justice League cartoon, this is your book to read. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So, Justice League 26 is coming out. Pick it up. Now we're going to talk about Marvel Spider-Man Studio War number 4, written by Dennis Hopeless Hullum and art by Michelle Bandini. A prison break in the Raft unleashes 6 of Spider-Man's most sinister foes. Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, Mr. Negative, and who's their mysterious leader? Now, This is basically this book is really telling the game. If you play the game, you already know how the story ends. But I kind of read I'm reading the book because so far I like anything tied into the game, and this is just retelling a short retelling of the game. If you don't want to play the game and you just want to read the comic, this is pretty much for you. But I think most people have read the book. I mean, have played the game. And so far, it's not a good jump on point. You can pick up the trade when it's all complete, because I think after this is one more issue and then that's it. But when it's the trade, pick it up. But good jumping on point, no. We're gonna move on to Miles Morales Spider-Man number 7, written by Saladin Ahmed and art by Ron Atkins, and Vanessa R. Del Rey and Javier Garron. Miles has to take stock in his life. What do his parents think of all this? How do his friends, particularly Bombshell, react to what happens? Now, this book has been really fun. It dives more into Miles' life, his parents, his friends, what he does for fun, and his antics, basically. So far, this book is pickable. It's picking up a new story arc right now, because we got revealed last issue who he goes to for advice. Now, if you read the recent, if you read the last run of Miles Morales Spider-Man, Michael Bendis does something with this character. Continuity-wise, if I remember what happened, he shouldn't be there, but we don't know. You know how Marvel likes to contradict itself, and I think I read the last one. I don't know. I gotta make sure when I do this stuff, I have to do more research, but I'm doing this on the fly, kind of. But pretty much, it's a good jumping on point, and I highly recommend the Miles Morales Spider-Man. It's really good. Now we're going to go to Nightwing issue number 61, written by Dan Jurgens and art by Chris Monahan. Bloodhaven is burning. Rick Grayson and the Nightwings are helpless against the rampage of Burnback. Will they be able to pull themselves together as a team in order to prevent Bloodhaven from becoming Ash confronted with their most dire threat yet? Rick and the Nightwings must find a way to come together if lives are to be saved. Now, this is part 2 of the story arc. This is part 3 of the story arc. So basically, you want to pick up Nightwing, you pick up 2 other issues, and then you read this one. So far, if you know what happened to Dick Grayson, he got shot in the head by KG Beast. Basically, he was contracted by Bane to shoot Nightwing to make Batman weaker, and so far you gotta read Tom King's run on that. But basically, this Rick Grayson, he doesn't want to be Dick Grayson anymore. He wants to live his life as Rick Grayson, but his instincts, his acrobatic skills are coming back slowly. And so far, he's Nightwing again, but he burned down his old suit, and other people from Bloodhaven have taken over Nightwing's mantle, aka the Nightwing team. Now, so far, we know Dick Grayson is going to come back to the full Nightwing. We're just not sure when, but so far, what Dan Jurgens is doing with this run is really interesting. But I do miss Dick Grayson. It's still a good run, but I miss Dick Grayson. All right, now we're gonna go to Superman Year One, written by Frank Miller and art by John Romita Jr. and Danny Miki. From the burning world of Krypton from the burning world of Krypton to the fields of Kansas, the first chapter of Superman Year One tracks Clark Kent's youth in Kansas as he comes to terms with his strange powers and struggles to find his place in our world. Now, this is a 3-issue miniseries written by Frank Miller. If you don't know who Frank Miller is, he wrote The Dark Knight Returns. Basically one of the most famous Batman runs ever, because they did the 2-part movie, and also they tried to adapt it in Batman v Superman, and it's been basically, if you want to read Batman, that's everyone's first pick for that story is The Dark Knight Returns, basically. And so far, Frank Miller hasn't been the best writer recently, but I'm really excited for this year one issue. Not a lot of people are, but I think between Frank Miller and John Romita Jr., I hope this book is really good. Now, if you want to reread a retelling of Superman's origins, I suggest this might be your go, but I would just do a little research for this. I'm picking it up because it's something with Black Label, and so far I do want to read what Black Label is doing with their books. But so far they've only done things with Batman and Superman. That's it. They've done 2 stories with Batman right now, which are still going on, aka Batman Damned and Batman Last Night on Earth, and now Superman Year One. So I'm really excited. Well, I'm hopeful for this first issue to go well. That's all I gotta say. It's a good jumping on point too. Now we're gonna go to Teen Titans number 31, written by Adam Glass and art by Bernard Chang. Lobo brought Crush into this world, and now he's gonna take her out. He's gonna take her out. There we go, because I put an exclamation point. But the timing couldn't be worse than for the Teen Titans, with Damian's secret prison exposed to the rest of the team. Not to mention Deathstroke's death looming over them. Can the team put their drama aside to help Crush battle her deadbeat dad? Or will Lobo be the final nail in the coffin for the new Teen Titans? Now, this Teen Titans run has been rebooted. Well, it had the original run when it was the Rebirth, and then some changes happened, and then we got a new Teen Titans team on issue 23, 21, I think 21 or 23. One of those. Basically, we got a new team for Teen Titans. It's basically, this team is a little weird. It's not everyone's go-to team for Teen Titans. When you think of Teen Titans, you think of, Robin, Starfire, you think of Beast Boy, Cyborg, and Raven. But this is not the team. This is the Rebirth team, the After Rebirth team, DC Universe team. It has Crush, Red Arrow, Kid Flash. It's not Bouncing Boy. It's not Bouncing Boy. I forget his name. I think he's a new character, but has Robin. But basically, this team is just being. They're breaking apart. Basically, they're slowly breaking apart with Robin's secret prison, Red Arrow, what she did, what her actions led to. So far, I think it's a good jumping on point right now. But you better read what happened before to know what you're reading, to know what you're jumping onto. I know I'm kind of just doing this, but I don't recommend jumping on for this because it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, but we'll see. Now we're going to talk about Tony Stark, Iron Man number 13, written by Gail Simone and art by Paolo I can't say his name. Villanelli. I think that's how you pronounce it. Iron Man finds himself struggling against the ancient mystical forces he has the least power to resist. Tony fights an ancient winged calamity and his own technology with the lives of everyone at Stark Unlimited hanging in the balance. Now, this is another War of the Realms tie-in. There's not a lot of tie-ins this week, which is good. But War of the Realms, basically. Malekith took over. I've said this before in the other podcast. But this is a second part. This will conclude the War of the Realms tie-in for Iron Man. Now, he's fighting a dragon. How cool is that? Iron Man fighting a dragon. What can go wrong in that story? It's only 2 issues, but after this, a new story arc will play. And yeah, pick it up at your own request, but I don't recommend it if you don't want to read anything War of the Realms. But after that, Dan Slott should come back to writing Iron Man. Okay, now we're going to go to the next book, Uncanny X-Men number 20, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Salvador Larroca. First, we learn the truth about the Hellfire Club's involvement in the X-Men's quest. Then, the mutant race faces elimination at the hands of a vaccine erasing the X gene from future generations. Now, if this seems familiar, you've seen the movies, or if you read, any of the older X-Men runs. Basically, the X gene is running out, and they're creating a mutant cure. Now, we know mutants aren't going to go anywhere because Disney bought Fox, and also Wolverine. Come on, you can't You can't tell me Wolverine's not popular. But this, it's a good jumping on point. No. X-Men's weird. X-Men's weird to jump on. It's very hard to tell when to jump on, but basically you need to read the 2 issues before or an issue before to get to know like a small idea on what's going on. But basically, Emma Frost, nobody remembers who Emma Frost is. We get revealed that Emma Frost joined someone and is actively trying to sabotage them, but also help the X-Men. So far, I'm enjoying Matthew Rosenberg's run on X-Men. It's pretty fun, and X-Men's really hard to jump on. Trust me, I jumped on X-Men Blue and Gold and Red. Red was probably the best one, and then Blue was like second, maybe third best. But so far, this book series has been okay. That's all I gotta say. It's been okay. And that's all for this page. Let me move that there. Now we're gonna go to War of the Realms: Journey into Mystery, number 5, written by the McElroys, art by Andre Araujo. Thor's little sister Lausta has been kidnapped and she's bound for fiery Muspelheim. But Balder pledged his life to ensure Lausta's safety, and he's not about to break his vow. Even Kate Bishop, Miles Morales, Deathlock, Deathlocket, Sebastian Druid, and Wonder Man are no match for Ares, though not when the entire Earth is at war. To save Lausta and stop Ares' rampage, they'll need some divine intervention. Now, this is a War of the Realms tie-in. This is on issue 5. You don't have to pick this up. It's basically a babysitter slash meet high slash comedy with heroes. This is the final issue basically. After this, you could pick up the trade for that if you're interested in War of the Realms. But it's been a pretty fun ride, and we also get to learn that Thor has a baby sister, and Thorgy is awesome. And Kate Bishop and Miles Morales meet, and they exchange who they are. So that's fun. Is it a good pickup? No. But after War of the Realms, you can pick up the trade. So after this, you can pick up the trade. Now we're going to go to War of the Realms: Spider-Man and the League of Realms, number 3, written by Sean Ryan, art by Nico Leone. Spidey and the rest of his motley crew are fighting for their lives. Once she was a member of the League of Realms until Malekith made her into his right hand. Now Curse can destroy the League once and for all. Basically, this is a 3-part mini of Spider-Man leading a team of people from different realms, and he's not good at it. He's not a good leader. And then last issue, we got kind of a cliffhanger of the Curse, and it's like, what? Bad guy, but kind of not really. When you read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is basically a better in trade reading. It is the final issue for this book, but it's not a good jumping on point. But so far, it's pretty interesting, and it gives a new light of what Spider-Man can do. Now we're going to go to War of the Realms: War Scrolls, number 3, written by Jason Aaron, Charlie Jane Anders, Christopher Cantell, and art by Andre Sorrentino. The Kingpin joins the battle for New York, and even his new cosmic senses, God without fear, can't touch the venerated mayor. Can he? Now, this is basically a story. This is a 3-issue mini as well. You don't have to pick it up. It's not a jumping on point either. It's telling of Daredevil having turned into the God of Fear during War of the Realms, and he has cosmic powers. He has Heimdall's powers, and he's been, defending people from Earth, basically people who didn't go with Doctor Strange during War of the Realms, who didn't go to the Avengers Mountain, stuck in New York, and he's just trying to save people, as many as he can, as the God without fear. And Kingpin is, trying to look for him, but not really. He doesn't need his help, but Malekith is, and he wants to destroy Daredevil, and basically Kingpin and Malekith are joining forces. Now, it's pretty good, but there's only so much you could do with this because it's ending. You're not gonna see this anymore, but it is ending, and you can pick up the trade when it's done. But it's not like a jumping on point. Now we're gonna talk about the final book. The final book, Wolverine Infinity Watch #5, written by Gary Duggan, art by Andy McDonald. I hope I got that right. McDonald. We finally reach Infinity's end, and hopefully Logan can claw his way back from the edge before he falls off. Now, this is tying up the Infinity Prime to Infinity Wars to this Infinity Watch. This is the story of Logan coming back after his run on Wolverine. What was it called? He was in a 5-issue mini of how the Return of Wolverine, and then after that mini ended, this started, and it's just Wolverine trying to save the guy who finally owns the Time Stone, the new owner of the Time Stone. So, and he goes on a space adventure in issue 3. So it's been an iffy book. Not a lot of people are liking Wolverine Space. I can understand why, because it's Wolverine and he's in space. He's working with Loki and a ghost dog. I love the ghost dog. I forget his name. I love him. He's a good character. But he's basically, yeah. It's a weird book. You don't have to pick this up. It's ending, and then when trade comes out, I think it's better and it's cheaper. Trust me, when trades happen, they're a lot cheaper. But yeah, that's really all the books I'm talking about this week. It's been kind of a short week, but not really. DC doesn't have that many books, but Marvel has dominated books, I think, for the second week as well. Very weird. I don't know what's going on, DC. I think they're rechanging some stuff, in my opinion. But that's really all the books that came out. Now, comics, my God. Yeah, this is, just want to remind you guys, this is the last time you'll see the set for now. Next week will be a set, and I just want to say, I am working on trying to get this podcast on Spotify. I just have one problem. I'm very lazy. And it's very hard for me to get motivated, kind of. Because I have a job, I read comics, I do this, and then I'm doing other things. I'm hanging out. I have a life besides doing this. I do this on my extra time. I don't get a lot of views, but I do this for fun. But we're going to go to the movie news in a bit. But so far, I think it's been a kind of a slow week. E3 just happened, but I don't want to cover all of that right now. Because E3, my God, a lot of stuff was revealed. A lot of games, which I do want to talk about, but I maybe I shouldn't. And I tapped my mic, unfortunately. But E3, my God, a lot of stuff happened. Now we're going to talk about the movie news, TV news that's happening. And yes, this is the first time where I've finished the comics before I move on to the movie news. Now, movie/TV. Basically, now Ubisoft is making a movie. Well, the Ubisoft, the Division movie is starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain is officially coming to Netflix. Now, I do remember the video game, The Division. I never played it. I barely know anything about it. A lot of people do. I watched a couple of videos when Vanoss uploaded a couple of years ago. I know Division 2 came out as well. I might see it on Netflix because Netflix produces probably one of the top quality stuff besides an Amazon Prime Video. Those two things create pretty good top quality stuff. Now, I'm interested because Jake Gyllenhaal is a high-list movie actor, and I'm probably going to watch this. I'm really excited what he's going to do for that. He's going to play a soldier, probably. That's all I know. I know the vision is something with currency, soldiers, war, and that's all I know. But I'm really excited because Jake Gyllenhaal is in there, and Amazon is not Amazon. Netflix is putting it on their, Netflix is having quality stuff. That's all I know. But am I excited for this film? Are you excited for this film? Let me know. I'm really excited. Well, I'll try to get more into Division, but so far that's all I know for Division. Now I'm gonna go geek out a little bit of this. Marvel's Avengers game came out with a trailer, and the game is coming out on May 15th, 2020. Now, Square Enix, they did the fantastic game of Spider-Man. I did play it. I love Spider-Man. My God, the swinging mechanics is just beautiful. I played the game. I think I just swinged around for like 6 hours one day. Yeah, when you delve deep into that Spider-Man game, my God, you delve deep. I did enjoy it, and I can't wait for the sequel because the sequel is gonna be probably better. It's probably gonna have Venom and other Spider-Man villains because, my God, that game was so good, and it's super easy to get platinum too. But my God, this game was so good. Okay, but besides that, we're gonna talk about Avengers now. This from the trailer, my God, Captain America dies in the trailer. Tony Stark has a beard. Bruce Banner is there. Basically, we get the Marvel version of the team. We'll get the movie version of the team, but we also get a young version of Hank Pym. Which, if you heard me talk before, I want a Hank Pym Ant-Man. Which I'm sad we never got an MCU proper, but we did get him. But oh, come on, I wanted a young Hank Pym film. But besides that, the game looks really fun. The creator said that you're gonna have, you're gonna have customizable costumes, probably like how Spider-Man did. You're gonna have to do adventures, and they said there's gonna be online co-op, which I'm sad because you're not gonna be able to play with friends. Which, it's something. Couch gaming is kind of dying, in my opinion. You don't get a lot of games where you can play with friends on the couch. Like Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead's a pretty good example. Left 4 Dead, mostly Call of Duties. I'm blanking out very terrible on this. But so far, I'm really excited for this Marvel game. A lot of people are saying like the graphics don't look the best. But here's the thing. It's just a trailer. It's just a presentation trailer. The graphics will get better. I know the costumes don't look the best. I'm probably going to put some pictures up here for the YouTube part. But I'm really excited for the game. It looks really fun. And so far, what Square Enix has done they haven't done a bad game, in my opinion. But I'm really excited for this Avengers game because it's been talks, I think, for years. For, I think, 5 years, there's been a talk about an Avengers game. Now we're getting one. So, people, my God, get hyped for this game. It's going to be good. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. And Captain America's dead. Jesus Christ. Dude, off and off Captain America on your first game. Jeez. That takes some balls, man. That takes some balls to off one, probably one of the most famous characters at the time. But I'm really excited, and they do say they're gonna have more characters. And the voiceover, I think it's Kamala Khan. It's also dealing with the Terrigen Mist. If you don't know who Kamala Khan is, she's Miss Marvel, and she's a pretty fun character. I don't read her book at the moment. Again, I have like 20 books to read a week. I cannot read everything, but so far she's a pretty good character from what I read, from what I've seen, the small snippets. But it's gonna deal with Terrigen Mist. Captain America's dead. He has a statue. Everyone's kind of disarrayed. Like, I need hopeful, and this game looks really good. I could talk about it for hours, but I really want to make this into an hour podcast. I'm doing a lot of hand movements. I don't care. I'm really excited. May 15th. It's close to my birthday too, so I'm really excited. I'm pre-ordering that game. Oh, that game's gonna be fun. Oh, okay. So, this is about Swamp Thing. Now, if you don't know what Swamp Thing is, basically, Alec Holland died. He came back. The Green took over Alec Holland, and basically, Swamp Thing is that. Now, in terms of the comics, Swamp Thing thinks he's Alec Holland, or the Green thinks that version of Swamp Thing is Alec Holland, or Alec Holland is Swamp Thing. Now, the big rumor was, I just looked it up, is that it was supposed to have a 3-season arc to introduce Justice League Dark. Now, it was gonna be a build up to Justice League Dark, how the Netflix TV shows built up to Defenders, which was Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. It's gonna build up to that into the Justice League Dark team. Now, here's the thing. We got introduced to, we would have Swamp Thing, Constantine, Deadman, Zatanna. Oh my God. Like, this would have been the first no, technically no, because Smallville had the first live action Zatanna. They had the first live action Zatanna. Yeah. But this would have been the first time we get to see the live action team of Justice League Dark. Basically, Justice League Dark deals with the more mystical aspects of the DC universe. Basically, John Constantine. We would have had John Constantine with Swamp Thing, and then Zatanna and Deadman. Dude, Deadman is cool. He's a past not criminal. He's a past gymnast who died and then just is a spirit, and it's really cool. And then we got Zatanna, who says her magic backwards. You got John Constantine, the chain smoker, the guy who made deals with God and the devil, and beat them both. And his soul is free. And Swamp Thing, the control of the green. Oh my God, that scene would have been cool to see on TV, but unfortunately we will never see it because it got canceled because of negotiations of taxes and money. But the thing is, people are saying that's not true. But here's the thing: we'll never know because Warner Bros. Or DC streaming service will not divulge that info. I'm very sad that got canceled, but I'm very excited for the season Swamp Thing, what they're gonna do, and unfortunately we're never gonna see another season. But again, there are rumors that some other network is gonna pick it up. I hope it gets picked up because the costume looks really good. The costume alone was really good. Trust me, the costume was really cool, and the CGI they do, and it's a good horror feel show. Yeah, so Swamp Thing, very sorry I got canceled. Let's see. Oh, here's something that just came out. I'm very excited too. The Monster Inc. show will come to Disney Plus, and it's called Monsters at Work. This show will be a spin-off / sequel, and it will have Billy Crystal and John Goodman return to their iconic roles, and it has a 2020 release date. Now we're gonna see Monsters Inc. on a TV show. How cool is that? Now Disney is spending real money for Zap. Not gonna lie, they are spending big bucks for Zap. And this show basically will have a new character introduced in that show because the main voice actors will not play the main characters, but this new guy is a guy who looks up to Sully and Mike. Yeah, this new character will look up to Sully and Mike, and he'll work around that world. We're gonna get that world expanded. Basically, it's the sequel to Monsters Inc., but in show format. Now, this is my theory. If this does well, we're gonna get a Monsters Inc. 2, hopefully. That's my theory. Because I think Monsters Inc. should have had a sequel a long time ago. Because we should have. Because the way it left, it felt like they were creating something for a sequel, but we never got that explored. Especially with Blue. Blue. At the end of the movie, Sully says Blue, and we hear an older Blue. Now, they need to expand on that world really bad. Maybe the sequel maybe that show will have it before, mention hey Sully, didn't we have a couple of years ago or last year you were with a small child? No, and then we get a sad tear from Sully. That world needs to. I'm surprised it took Disney this long, or Pixar. I don't know, but I'm surprised it took them this long to have a show. I'm definitely getting this streaming service. $8 is not that bad. Oh, is it 8 or 7? I think it was 7 or 8. But I'm really excited what they're going to do for this world. Monsters Inc. A sequel / spinoff. Are you excited? I know I am. So, oh my God, Monsters Inc. Oh, that movie should have had a sequel a long time ago. I'm not talking about the prequel, Monster University. I did like it, but I would have had a proper sequel. Now, Dark Phoenix, here's the thing about Dark Phoenix. It was supposed to have a different ending. It was supposed to end with the Skrulls. Now, this is weird. This is weird territory because the Dark Phoenix, as I remember, was supposed to come out in November of 2018. But since the Disney / Fox deal was happening, they had to reshoot that ending, I'm guessing. So, basically, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm reading as well, that movie was supposed to have a similar ending to Captain Marvel. Now, because Captain Marvel happened, that ending never happens. I'm not going to say the ending because at this point, it doesn't matter. I don't think it'll change how the film is because we've seen the promotion, we've seen the trailers, we've seen the posters. It's a movie that nobody barely watched. And I will talk about that in a few moments. But would you have seen a different ending for Dark Phoenix? I know I wouldn't because I am not seeing that movie. I'm sorry for the people who did see that movie or planning to see the movie. I'm sorry, but you'll never get the ending you truly wanted to the X-Men franchise. Logan should have been the final movie to end the X-Men franchise. Logan, that movie was fantastic. Okay, now this Paul Rudd. Now this is concerning Ant-Man 3. Now Paul Rudd has gone on record saying Ant-Man 3 might not happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm sad but kind of happy because we kind of got his conclusion in Endgame. His story conclusion. He could still appear in Avengers movies or with other characters. Imagine a movie with Spider-Man and Ant-Man, or Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, or Hulk and Ant-Man working together. Now, this he says it might happen, might not. It only made like $600 million, and it had a budget probably of 250, if I remember how much budget was. But again, this is up to Disney, and if they ever want to make a sequel. Now, I hope so because I think this will end Ant-Man, and we might get the new Avengers with Kamala Khan, Spider-Man, Cassie Lang with being the Wasp. And the Harley kid from Iron Man 3, he could be the new Iron Lad. So, I wish it would make Iron Man 3, but it might not happen. But if they do, excited. Okay, now we're going to talk about The Batman with Robert Pattinson. Now, the rumor is it'll have 4 villains. No, 6 villains. 6 villains. What are you talking about 6 villains? I thought it was 4. No. Basically, it was said that the 6 villains will be Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, Firefly, Two-Face, and Mad Hatter. Now, Mad Hatter basically is the guy who messes with your minds. Two-Face we've seen with The Dark Knight, so you already know who Two-Face is. If you haven't seen Dark Knight, come on. Two-Face is basically Harvey Dent. He got his face got half of his face got badly scarred, and he became insane. He had 2 personalities. Catwoman is a burglar. Penguin is a short, fat guy who is kind of a monster on certain stories, but other than that, he's very good. He's very smart too, considering. Yeah, Penguin. He's probably one of Batman's smartest villains. And Riddler, basically, he's a man who tells riddles, or when you solve his crimes, you have to solve his riddles. Oh, that's a lot of words. Yeah, and Firefly, basically, he's a guy who could fly and controls and shoots fire. But I'm really excited for this Batman movie. Also, it's been rumored that we're going to get a Robin in this film. And it's hard to tell if it's set in the main movie DC verse or not, because DC's doing, the Joker and other movies. But I don't know about this one. And if supposedly it's going to be set in the 90s, it's going to be a noir type film. Now, I will give Rob Pattinson a pass. I will give him a chance as well. Until I see a trailer or a production photo of him in the costume, we don't know. Matt Reeves, you've done well. Hopefully you can do this well as well. Hopefully you could do this film justice, because we haven't seen a detective Batman yet, and that's something that's missing. We got the action Batman. We got mostly action Batman. The only time we get a detective Batman is probably the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, where Bruce Wayne cuts the brick or the wall and analyzes the bullet. That's the only time we got his detective work. Other than that, we haven't seen him much with detective work. Okay, now I'm going to talk about Pennyworth, the show that nobody asked for. Pennyworth got a trailer and has an odd version of how Thomas Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth met, and the show will come out on July 28th on Epix. Now, this show has been on the works for about a year or two. It's only going to be a 10-part show. Hopefully, it's only 1 season and done. Because here's the thing. Alfred works better if he's mysterious. You kind of know his past, but not really. Now, this show, who asked for this show? I know it was joked about in the Teen Titans Go movie. Next summer, the next movie for the Bat family is Alfred, aka Pennyworth. No, this show, it's basically a young Alfred out of the war. It's going to be set in the 60s as well. He doesn't want to be a violent man, but he is a violent man for the show. And I don't know. Do I want to see... Here's the thing. You're creating a show on Epix. You're having the DC streaming service as well, which you could have easily put it there. But again, it's more adult, so maybe not. But then again, Warner Brothers is also creating a streaming service, so they could put it on there. Here's the thing: DC is putting way too many properties in different places, in my opinion. There should be just one place, all in the streaming service. But I might see it. Depends. I've seen the trailer. It looks okay. It doesn't look CW-ish. It doesn't look Fox-ish. Epix. I think this will be the only time I see something on Epix. But are you excited for an Alfred show? I'm biased because I kind of know his origin. He has multiple origins. He's the butler. He's a nice guy, or he is the army veteran who is badass. Which we did get a version of that in Gotham. But Alfred, are you planning to see it? Me, maybe. I don't know. I'm not. I'm iffy. I might see the trailer again, but it's a show that nobody wanted, but yet DC helped made. But yeah, in other news, another show is coming to Sci-Fi. We got the Krypton show, but here's the thing: we're getting Lobo. The main man is getting his own show. Yeah, Lobo. The rumor is Lobo might be getting his own show on Sci-Fi after many years of talk about a film about him. Now, I think there was fan art of Jason Momoa as Lobo and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, if I remember correctly. A lot of people wanted Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Jason Momoa as Lobo. I like Lobo. Lobo's a pretty good character. He is a creation of the 90s. He's basically kind of the Deadpool of the DC, in my opinion. But yeah, the main man is getting his own show. Fraggle. Oh, that hurt my voice. But Lobo, I think that would be interesting, but here's the thing. He's kind of a one-type note villain. You really can't do much with it. He does well in like appearances and yeah, he does well in appearances like in Young Justice Season 3 and this show and Justice League. Justice League, but very hard. I don't know. It's hard to sell on Lobo. Kind of hard because they've been working on that film for about 15 years, trying to get a Lobo film on the ground. But the main man is coming to Sci-Fi. Don't know when, but he's getting his own show. Because Lobo is a bounty hunter. Lobo is a bounty hunter. He's a space bounty hunter. He hunts other aliens for money. That's his character. And he has a flying bike. It's really cool. Again, he's a creation in the 90s. What can you do with him? I don't know. But I might see it. I do like Lobo. Lobo's a pretty interesting character, in my opinion. But he's hard to sell on people. Okay, now, one of the things I'm really excited for this year, Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. Ewan McGregor is going to play an older Dan Torrance. And the movie will explore his trauma and the gift, The Shine. The movie will come out November 8th. Now, I saw the trailer. I'm like, yes. Hopefully it's basically him, because he's the son of Jack Nicholson's character. And hopefully, God, I'm blanking on The Shining. Jesus. But this is a sequel to The Shining, and it's going to explore Danny's trauma from the past, from that hotel he stayed with his father and mother. And it'll explore his psychic powers, because as we learned in this trailer, there are more people with psychic powers, and they're being hunted as well. And it looks like a good psychological thriller, like Shutter Island. I love Shutter Island, and I hope to do something similar to that. I'm really excited for Dr. Sleep. It has Ewan McGregor. Here's the thing, a bit of a tangent. Ewan McGregor should have had his Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, but because of Han Solo, a Star Wars story fell, we're never gonna get the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Come on, you had Ewan McGregor. He wants to play Obi-Wan Kenobi. Disney, give him a 10-part show. Throw money at him, he'll do it. Come on. Bit of a tangent. Okay. And okay, The Quiet Place. A Quiet Place 2 will okay, let me end that. After all that, A Quiet Place 2 will explore the lore and backstory of the creatures. Now, The Quiet Place was a movie written and directed by John Krasinski. Now, he played Jim in The Office. And so far, everything he's done so far, from playing Jack Ryan to Jim to directing and writing and starring in The Quiet Place. And the second film was gonna dive deep into these creatures, because remember, these creatures hunt by sound, and it's gonna be interesting how like they were made, like they're aliens or a creation of man. So are they gonna be biological man-made creatures, or are they from aliens from space? I saw Quiet Place. It's really good, and it's gonna dive deep into this world. It's a sequel nobody asked for, but I'm kind of happy it's getting made. I'm really happy it's getting made, so I'm really excited for that. Because A Quiet Place is really one of the sleeper hits of 2018. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, and then we're going to talk about Detective Pikachu now. Detective Pikachu is the highest grossing video game movie of all time now. It beat Tomb Raider. Now, if you're asking which Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider movie with Angelina Jolie back in 2001. So, it's proven that good video games movies can be made. Because Resident Evil is an okay film. All of them. Also, the Assassin's Creed movies are okay. And that new Lara Croft movie was okay. It could have done better. But it's very hard to sell on people with... And Doom as well. Oh my god, that was a video game movie as well. But it's very hard to make video game movies, and I think Detective Pikachu, a Pokemon movie, has gone through the right steps to how to make a good video game movie. Have it set in the world, but have it set in the world, but have your own spin on it. That's how I see it. Also, Silent Hill. Silent Hill was it was an okay movie. But yeah, this game, yeah. Detective Pikachu, really fun. And of course, Ryan Reynolds does the fantastic voice of Pikachu. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, 3 more things and then I'm done. You can stop hearing me talk. Dark Phoenix director Simon Kinberg says the film's quality is on him. Now, he did say on the internet that, yeah, how Dark Phoenix is on him. How that movie came out to be, it's really on him. But then again, is it though? I mean, 20th Century Fox had a tough decision because they had to get a director. They chose Simon Kinberg because he's the only guy who's been with the X-Men franchise for about 10 plus years. Now, this was his first directing role, and so far when people tell me it's not the best, but I give credit to credit due. He did say Dark Phoenix is not a good film. Not many directors will say that, but I'm happy he's admitted his mistakes, and hopefully he can get advice. Simon Kinberg, get advice from Quentin Tarantino, get advice from other directors how to make other films, because I think you do have a niche in directing, but I think dealing with a $200 plus million budget film, a superhero film by the way, is very hard for first time directors. But hopefully you can get advice and make better films. I do have hope for you, Simon Kinberg, but just work on your directing. That's all I gotta say. Now, Toy Story 4 has, next topic. Toy Story 4, has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, here's the thing, I don't follow Rotten Tomatoes as much because it's not always accurate. Follow IMDb and other review sources, or trust your fellow YouTubers who do movie reviews. Now, Toy Story 4, I'm excited. What's funny, Toy Story, the whole franchise is the only franchise where each movie gets progressively better in each film. Because, the first one was Woody meeting Buzz. They had a little fight, but then they made up. The second film is we have to find Woody, a mission to find Woody. And then the third one was a mission to meet Andy, but a kind of like we're growing up. Because here's the thing, Toy Story 3 is basically when it came out, it's when I was going to high school. And it was like a good, like, don't worry, you can grow up still, but still have your kid memories. It was a very sad film. It's a sad film. I mean, it's sad in the end, but it has a good heartful message. And I'm really excited for this fourth entry because it's taken 8 years. And yeah, I'm 20. I'll say I'm in my mid 20s right now, close to my mid 20s. And let's say this, my God, Toy Story. I'm just happy because just think, movie sequels either take 2 to 3 years. Now Pixar / Disney have been making films for years, and they know, like, yeah, we made money. We don't have to make more money, but we'll make more money like a couple of years from now. That's what I like. I'm really excited for Toy Story 4 because it has a fantastic voice cast. It has Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Keanu Reeves, Jordan Peele, and Keegan-Michael Key. With those guys being in the film, my God, I really can't wait for what they do in this film. And let's say this, a lot of people don't recognize Keanu Reeves' voice in that film. Even I didn't believe it until I looked up the credits. I'm like, oh, he plays this character. Oh, that's interesting. Now, it does also bring back Bo Peep because, again, we never got a definite answer of what happened to Bo Peep. I thought she went missing or she got sold during, Andy's grow up or Andy's mom sold her. But this, hopefully we're going to get answers of what happened to Bo Peep. Because Bo Peep is cool and she is the one, she basically holds everything together. Woody may look like he holds everything together, but he always goes to Bo Peep for advice. Now, I'm really excited for that. And Bo Peep is back. My God, Bo Peep. You're one of the best characters. Okay, now we're going to talk about the box office stuff. Basically, oh, and yes, I'm excited for Toy Story 4. I am planning to see it this Saturday. Real excited. Now, Men in Black International earned $28 million. The Secret Life of Pets 2 earned $23 million. Aladdin earned $16 million. And Dark Phoenix earned $9 million. Rocketman earned $8 million. So, between all that, Dark Phoenix dropped drastically. It does not help 20th Century Fox as well. But, yeah, that's really all the stuff I want to say for this week. Box office-wise, I was not expecting, well, I was expecting the Dark Phoenix to drop that much, but ooh, I was not expecting to drop that drastic. That's really bad. Not earning $9 million and a $200 million plus movie is not good. It's only earned about maybe 40 million, about 40 million, probably 50 million. That's really not good. It's lucky if it even makes its money back. It's hard to make money back in films now. But Secret Life of Pets, of course, it's gonna get money. It's a kids movie on a weekend. Come on. Also, Men in Black International. Didn't see the film. I'm happy it made money. I guess Sony has something. Sony doesn't have that many franchises left to make films anymore. Jumanji is probably the only good one. The Men in Black is probably the last good one. It's probably the third one. That's not saying that much. The second one was okay-ish. The first one's probably the best one. It's Men in Black 1, Men in Black 3, and then Men in Black 2. And Sony made Jumanji 2 as well. So, not really saying much, but that has been the weekly podcast of the day. What topics did you like the most? What comics are you getting? I know I am getting, what am I getting? Daredevil. I'm really excited for Daredevil. And probably from DC, Justice League number 26. Those two books, I highly recommend at the moment. But that's been my podcast. I have been your host, A Random Nerd. This is my podcast. I'm uploading this every Wednesday around 10:30. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.